Well, back we are, back we go. Here we are, back again with this thingy-bob. Now, I would really like to go back to my original idea and possibly even make this ISO length, so 29 block, 29 by 11. So I was looking around at some pictures, and I really think I would like to try and use like a hinge on the back here, and then off this have an extending thing, and then off this have an AX connector. And that can be a bit shorter, it doesn't need to be this full length. For now, I'm going to copy this thing. And I'm thinking, why doesn't this go on one side of it? So imagine this, right? It goes on, like it hangs off one side, and then the like arm thing goes down the other side. I feel like I might as well just start again with this. So I found this thing called a Kalmar RT022, which is like a telehandler, and it's got kind of it's kind of what I want. It doesn't have a spinning cap, but it's got all the other kind of like functionality, and I want this Salamander thing to replace the RS Mini. So yeah, this could just be what I need to do. So I'm going to build a little arm thing, and then I think it's going to get offset. I might have to put a gripper in this, but basically this central thing would slide out, and then it comes out a little bit. Then it looks like it goes down. Something like that. And then this bit has like a hinge. I suppose it's a hinge. It might need a piston here though to stop it from falling off completely. Because I think the main issue is this end piece, right? This yellow bit here that's connecting two other subgrids together. And I think it's just incredibly weak with the AX attachment on it. It's very bulky. It's very bulky. But then I could take this whole thing, put it over to the side, and then I have space for a cab, which is not here. Does this seem like a good idea? And I'd be able to bring all the sides and everything up. I think this is questionable. I don't like this though. I don't like the big sticky things. I really want to go back to my original idea. What if I just try and make just the grabby bit first? Yeah, this is definitely where the weak point was. It's this thing rotating. Is that what it looks like? Where it connects on the AX? Oh, it's way up here. Yep, that would sandwich up against the door panels that are in there. And so I'm thinking if this just needs to be heavier. See, I could definitely get some barrels in here. I don't know if that's heavy enough. Alright, so I've grabbed the same height from the handler for the connector placement. I've got a thing, and I'm gonna just put down a wheeled platform, right? I'm just gonna do this. So I have some kind of structure, and then I'm going to spawn not that. I'm going to spawn this attachment so it will connect directly when it spawns in. It looks like my wheels are not in the right place for that. Maybe I need to go down one more or something. And then I'm going to put on one lever, and this one lever is going to control the up and down, and I'm just going to find out how much weight I need to place on this thing. Looks like they're all just going backwards, which is good. Oh, the front ones are the wrong way. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's doing the same thing that it was last time though. Now, get rid of all this. This isn't really... I don't know if I can use this rotating cab idea, which kind of sucks. I really want to, but maybe it's just not meant for this. Huh. Why does this work? Why is it working now? Is it just because there's a massive panel for it to hold up against? That looks like a bit of an off-road wheel. I had also considered using tracks, but like having them work like a wheel. I think I can actually get my rotating cab with this as well. If I put... It would have to go really close to this. I could use wedges, right? And I can come back. And so there's like a gap for it to rotate around inside of, while also still allowing me to have this mechanism. And did I need to change my wheels? The height. Does it sink down when I send that up? It does, doesn't it? But I don't know if that's like a tire pressure thing. Probably okay. I need something to like make it look like these are a bit chunkier. Can I just do this? You know, like give it a bit of bulk? I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work at all. I could XML all these blocks through here to be 2 wide, and then that will just stretch them out a little bit and make them look a bit fatter. And I could also use that to hide some barrels if I needed to strengthen up or add more weight into this section. So there's the bit that can lift a container. Maybe I should put a really big wheel in there. So this is a size 7 wheel and this is a size 5 wheel. Guessing it needs to go up 1, yeah. See, now it's more like a fender piece. Man, you really do lose a lot of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but it looks kind of goofy. Oh, you completely lose the pipe. The axle bit is like completely sucked up into the wheel. I didn't realize that. So I'd probably end up with a frame like this. And then I guess this can just come up but not go all the way. And then if it wedges out like that and then goes up. I'm trying to get like an outline of what the shape might be. I don't think I really want to have a bumper that hangs over the front. And I definitely don't want that hangs over the back. Like it needs to end before it gets anywhere near the end of it. So this is definitely backwards right now, but the smaller wheels are the front and the bigger wheels are the back. And now I've got my cab cut away from the original Salamander, which might be a bit too wide, or maybe this thing's a bit too short. I do kind of like that it's short though. It's interesting. Let's put it there, and then that gives it a gap on either side. This thing here, the up down, did I put in steering? Oh yeah, up down. Why do I have tilt? Tilt. Is tilt just this? So I can do them independently. I'm going to put them all on up down for now, and then tilt can be added later as like a additional override thing. So get rid of that lever. Put in that. I'm not sure how much I need for this to work. And it's probably going to like fly up when it connects. Oh, look at this. I can kind of see what I'm doing. Push that. It just clears it. And then we're off. I need to fix the window, but generally I think this is the right idea. This is good. I like this. I'm getting all my ideas smushed back together. I wonder if I can use one of these wedges though. Change over to the 1x2s. Make it more... I mean, that looks a bit odd. I was going to say make it look more like a circle, but it doesn't really look very circular. The thing about this though is how do you get into it? You would have to cut out the sides. And then I think I would need to move the front axles forwards 1 block or 2 blocks maybe. You need to keep this like section of 3 available to enter. Yeah, so you can come up to the side and then there'd be some kind of stairs or something. Just flipped all these pivots around because it was going a bit back to front. And I think the values on the counter are a bit weak. This is not sensitive enough for me. And while I'm in here, I'll chuck some barrels down in here just to give some weight, just to help it out a little bit. That's still too fast and not heavy enough. So, but like this makes sense, right? I can put the engine in this larger compartment, which actually won't be that large when I think I'll have to accept some clipping, or I could turn this back wheel into, it could just not turn or not turn as much. And then this piece here probably needs to go be extended or something. I can definitely fill like the whole floor with these barrels. You know, I can do a big section like this, just extra weight on the opposite end of where the container would be. Yeah, that's fine. It's a bit quick, but that's fine. This is lagging so much, I don't know why. Yeah, with a bit more weight, that should be fine. And this is within 11, right? Oh, it's 13. 13's fine because that will still fit within most train widths, and that's the idea, like to put it on a train or something, pick it up with a train. I had thought maybe it would drive under a special rail car and it would like suck it up under it. But driving up onto one would be just as fine. I need to know where this curve on the other side goes, which hopefully is just that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 wedges. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then across. And so I need to keep this like cylinder in the middle empty. How much ground clearance do I want? I think it would be really good if I had heaps of ground clearance. Then this is basically, I'm gonna start putting in like the whole outside wall. I think, how much space do I need for the steering on this? I'll connect some motors, take it for a test spin. And I don't want it to connect right now. I just want to see if I can drive it. So get rid of that connector. It's nuts. I'm going to turn off vehicle damage. So yeah, I don't think these, look how messed up those wheels are for turning. I don't think they should be able to turn the whole way. They should stop, you know, like that. And then I could probably bring that wall back in a bit more. And I think it might be on the front wheels as well. I might need to limit the steering. It's kind of neat that they can turn so much, but like, that's already a pretty tight turning radius. So to test this, what I'll do, grab a lever. This is so I can find out like the maximum turning angle that I want. Connect that to the steering and then get another one. Get rid of these weight because I think that's where the wall is going to be. Add the steering to this and put these on a very low sensitivity and let them go from 1 to -1. Actually, it probably didn't need to go between 1 and -1, but so that's 0.5, yeah. So 0.5 of steering, it would mean there's basically no clipping and it looks nice, I guess. This one, oh, this can go a bit further. I could probably, this one can go to 0.6, I reckon. Yeah, so the rear can go to 0.6 and the front can go to 0.5. The way that scales might be a bit weird. So steering is going to have to go onto a counter because I've got different turning rates. So I can change the increment value on one of them to be slightly more so that it ends at the same point. I think. It's like giving it a percentage, right? Or do I just multiply my output by something, get a percentage? Anyway, doing it this way lets me limit very easily. So minimum is negative 0.5 and maximum is 0.5. I'm just realizing this isn't gonna work. I'll come back to the limiting steering thing. I know it's going to be some silly logic that I don't want to know about. So for now, I'll just build out the shape. I think I'll do that. I don't want too much of a pipe sticking through here. And I might even use the walls on this as the pipe. So I reckon I can put my heat sink. I can do what I had last time. Maybe the whole back doesn't open up though. So I can do a heat sink for cooling. Should be able to see over that pretty easily. I think if you use a door on the top of heat sinks, that looks pretty nice. And because I've got the space here, I can do it on the top as well, or on the bottom. Can have that little gap, and it just helps kind of extend the length of the heatsink. I could also put something on the side that looks like a heatsink, or looks like some more kind of radiator space for heat distribution, heat dissipation. I probably need to leave this gap here, but I'm pretty sure I can get away with that. It looks a bit odd, but you know. So this is where my engine is going to live, somewhere in here. Oh, I could flare it out, couldn't I? Yeah, I totally could. The top can flare out and it's like a fender. It'd be good if I could do it one lower though, like down here. But then you'll have some major clipping. That at least gives me a little bit of space to maybe run some pumps or something. And then here it's pretty much going to have to just become like a wall that goes straight up. Yeah. It would have been nice if I could avoid that, but you know, what are you going to do? I need to make sure that pivot has enough space to rotate freely. Even the back here might cause some clipping. If it does, I'll move the wedge down and use an XML wedge that can just visually pop up through there. I think, yeah, I can't even get away with that. I need to basically bring this wedge across and then somehow connect it into the side here. That's quite a pickle. Man, what's the point of even like doing that then? It should just... I can probably figure something out here if I like extend the whole body. But basically I just need to have enough space for these arm pieces to move around in. And where the pivot sits is like, it should be more like this, I guess. There should be more of a straight edge. But I really want to stretch those. I want to try and stretch them to too wide. Maybe even put some rockets in them and try and stretch them so that they're more curved. Because those rockets are like octagonal. The thing with the steering is to limit it, you need to like, I guess I can just divide the output, but then the steering sensitivity changes. So instead of going between -1 and 1, before it comes out of this, I divide it in half. X divided by 2, because then my max value would be 5 and 0.5. Left and right then needs to become 20% because I need to be twice as fast. Ooh, needs a lot of weight. It can definitely get longer though, quite easily I think. So to there, what's that? To about the middle is 21. Oh man, look, it's already like ISO length. I'm screwed. But I want to move these wheels anyway, so this is all going forwards. 1, 2, 3. And you go a nice tight wheel well. I think I should probably drop the sides down, and then that gives me more space to put in weight blocks. Oh, I could put like pipes along the bottom, and then it would look like are they called like rock bars or something? What are they called? Rock sliders? for like 4-wheel drives and things to have those. I want to try and find all these blocks through here and stretch them out to too wide. It's 152 blocks there. So I've just made 2 blocks wider. I think that's pretty cool actually. I don't know how you can get them to wedge back down. I guess if I use a rocket would work. Okay, I've done a lot of stretching here. There is some casualties. You can see it like it wedges out perfectly, grabs onto the now stretched out 2 block wide piece, and the pivot at the bottom is stretched out as well. I think that looks really, really good. I just need a way to stop it from doing that. And I think actually hard points would work. Because I don't need to have the space inside of here reserved for anything. So I need I need hard points like this, where the pipe is in the middle. Look at that, you can barely tell. I mean, you can't really tell at all. It's a little bit of weird shadows, but generally, that's pretty cool. I think this rounded edge is not good. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but in practice, not really a good idea. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way this whole front system works. The loader arm thing. Quite pleased. Then I have a thing here which probably needs like a steer. The steers are gonna be up one higher though. Be cool if I could attach the steer to the spinning part. I'm sure it would clip on something. Did it not? Oh, it doesn't? Okay, we're winning. And then I could put a steer below that as well. Could I get a rail? I feel like that's asking for a bit much. It seems to work. That's funny. I could put a rail on the other side, and then it's like getting rid of some of this extra crap. And it helps kind of sell it a bit more that it's like a thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I like the idea of having rails there. It seems safe. Makes it feel safe. Oh, the stairs are like not in the right place. Oh, they need to go back further if I want to do this. Oh, further again? I do kind of like that though. It's the kind of thing you'd get scooped up in if it were real, you know. You wouldn't want to be standing next to this thing if it were moving. Okay, and then about an engine. An engine needs to go in here. I guess that wall needs to stay because that's separating. Yeah, the wall is separating the engine from the cab. And I've poked it up here so that I can put barrels under this. I just need more weight. I can't ignore that I need weight. So I can probably just put a modular engine straight down the middle. Like, actually, like a vehicle like of this size could probably benefit from having a 3X. It would mean it pokes up 27 mass. So these don't even weigh that much. If I dropped it down 1, no, I'd have to drop it down 2. This would give me a lot more torque. Just putting in like a 2-cylinder, maybe. I don't know if 2 starter motors would be enough to start this engine though. This is quite big. And I'd probably have to connect it this way where the ports are on the front and back because I've got no walls. Okay, well, for now, I've put this 2-cylinder 3X modular engine in here and I've just got 2 starter motors on it. There's no cooling or anything. I just want to see if 2 starter motors can start this. Yeah, see, this is the problem. It might be an RPS thing where if I increase the RPS, the idle RPS, it might be okay, or at least the starting RPS. So this thing here, we've got an engine RPS that's reading off the engine. If it's between negative 9999 and 2, and the key is on, then the starters will go. But our idle is 3, and we might need to run the starters for a bit longer to get them to actually spin the engine up, because it's like they'll go, and then they'll disengage when they hit 2. See, it's kind of getting there. So even though the idle RPS is higher than this, yeah, the starters might not work. See, I think it's probably running now, but because the threshold just tells it to keep going, it just keeps going. So if I wanted to check this, I could say maybe hotkey 4, go to those, and then whatever logic's in here wouldn't matter because it's not doing anything. So I turn the key on, and then nah, it's not gonna run. Let's double check it, but I think it's just too much load to start that, because there's no load on the clutch at the moment. We've got an exhaust manifold, we've got an air manifold, we've got a fuel manifold. Cooling doesn't matter if you have that or not. I could try to give it some gas at the same time I'm doing the starter. So turn the key on, throttle up, which is W, I think. It wants to die. I think it's died. Yeah, it's turned off, I think. Can I see the crank? It might be going. The ratio is dying, so it's probably stopped. Yep, 0. I can just as easily put in a lot of smaller cylinders. This probably would be okay. It's quite a long engine. But I guess there's a lot of space in there. You don't need a lot of weight on this end. I need all my weight on the other end. So just filling this up with modular engine components is, it's okay. Nothing wrong with this. The pipe for the coolant will come out here. And then it will go that way. And then from here, I'll go back into the wall. I think the manifold will just connect onto this piece. That's pretty easy. Then exhaust. I'm gonna air manifold the exhaust on this. Get rid of that. I'll need some starters. Funny thing is, I can put more starters on this engine than I could the other one. The one that probably only needs 1 starter, I can put 3 starters on. And I can probably extend it by another cylinder, another crankshaft if I wanted to. For now, I'm just going to run a small tank and not worry about it. Will it work? I'll show you what's in here. So basically it's just a very long 1x1 crankshaft modular engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 times 4, 12, 24. It's a 24 cylinder engine. We've got cooling down the bottom here, which just comes up into the heatsink on the front. Then there is the clutch, which sends power through the pipe, goes forwards and splits into a T, where it goes onto the 2 wheels, which are technically the back. And then also around the pivot under the cab to the wheels at the back, which is technically the front. And that just started first try. But it's not going. Wow, okay, that's aggressive. I didn't think it would be able to spin the tires like that. That's some electric motor's amount of torque. Unless my grip factor's just balked. Okay, one thing I'm noticing is that the limited steering is not fun. kind of wish it had more steering capability than this. Another thing I had been considering is just completely turning it into a tracked vehicle. At least the barrels in the bottom are doing a good job keeping it stable. And I like the way that this thing has turned out with the loader, the front end loader arm on it being 2 blocks wide. Just kind of merging into the 1 block piece there. So there's no infinite fuel on this, but the wheel grip and the engine is just too powerful. Let's try and pick up this thing. And there is no reverse on this. Something's fallen off. Oh, there's also no brakes. This is pretty weird. I want to try a tracked version and see if the tracks will make it look any better. Because it doesn't need to be going fast, it just needs to have a lot of weight to stop it from falling over. Yeah, I think I'll try a tracked version. It might just be down to the looks that tracks look better than the wheels that I currently have on it. If the tracks don't look any better, then I'll stick with the wheels and I'll just try and decorate things and disguise it a little bit. I think I've got the functionality I want, where I've got the spinning cab and I've got the loader arm. It looks weird again though, like I went through a stage where it started looking good and now it looks weird again, so there's definitely a lot more work to be done on it. But I'll get to that next time. So thanks for watching, I'll see you later.